If I haven't made it obvious in the past, I like games with a bit of a challenge. I also like games with Ever in the title. EverQuest, EverQuest 2, Ever... Jane. Okay, I like 2 games with Ever in the title. And now it's 3. This is Everspace, which recently released on Steam. Honestly, spaceship games are kind of a hit and miss for me. Typically, there are 2 approaches. Slower and slightly more strategic spaceship battles, or fast-paced, barf-inducing spaceship battles. I prefer the latter. I'm having so much fun! Everspace is most definitely the latter. You play as... guy in spaceship. You do have a name, but that's slightly spoilerish, but it frankly doesn't come into play, so I'm not gonna bother. There's also a story, but it frankly doesn't come into play either, so I'm not gonna bother. So you're given a brief tutorial which teaches you how to fly around, fire your guns, change weapons, use items, mine for materials, and a few other various elements. The game makes sure not to tell you too much though, as figuring it out is part of the fun. But in general, here's how the game works. Your goal is to get to the end of each sector, but first you have to make your way through each node. And that is not as simple as it sounds. You'll fly into each area with the simple goal of exploring each one for resources. Of course, enemies will abound. You'll need to blow them out of the sky using a variety of different weapons. Gatling guns, pulse lasers, beam lasers, scatter guns, and a few others. You'll then need to flip around in circles as you dogfight enemies. This can be rather disorienting and nausea-inducing. Get back here! So much fun! You can also do this in first-person mode, or VR mode, for more immersive vomiting. Back to weapons. Your ship also comes equipped with missiles, which are much easier to control. Simply lock on and fire. Yes, fire! Fire all the missiles! I should probably never be president. In battle, you'll likely want to use your items as often as possible. There are several different ones to choose from, like damage boosters, shield boosters, drones that slow your enemies, or items that make enemies fight for you. These can really make the difference between winning and losing, so make sure you use them. Unlike me. I am not good at this game. Firing your weapons, using your booster jets, and using items all use your ship's energy. Use too much, and you'll be a sitting duck. Use too little, and you're an idiot. Proper energy management is vital to looking cool while kicking ass. Which is why everything you're seeing here looks like ass. As I said, I'm not exactly good at this game. Killing enemies will provide you with materials that you're going to need to help survive future encounters, like scrap, ore, money, plasma, crystals, and gas. After destroying all the enemies on a map, you'll want to go ahead and explore the area for more materials. But don't take too long, otherwise stronger enemies are going to show up. There are asteroids to mine, which is done by shooting them, crates to open, which is done by shooting them, and other things to blow up, which is done by hugging them. With bullets! Probably the most important resource you need is fuel. Each jump you make to a new node takes about 25% of your fuel. So if you don't spend some time exploring and gathering as much as you can, after 4 jumps, you'll be out of fuel. At this point, any further jumps will injure your ship, which has the potential to knock out major systems, like your weapons or even life support. It should be noted that enemies damaging your ship or just running into things can also knock out major systems. Should this happen to you, hopefully you've gathered enough materials to make repairs. Eventually, though, you will die. And this video got dark. Everspace is rather hard like that, especially on normal and hard difficulties. But if you choose easy mode, which there is absolutely no shame in, or at least I'll keep telling myself that, you'll be able to get rather far before biting it. Dying means you'll have to start all over from the beginning. But any money you gather during your run will stick around, allowing you to purchase perks such as increased energy, a stronger hull, etc., and eventually even different ships. This is what will help you get further and further each time and allow you to move up to harder difficulties. That's really about it. You will come across some scripted events every so often, which changes up the pacing of the game a bit, but really it's kind of the same throughout. That would be my only real fault with the game. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't really change. You'll be killing, exploring, and gathering. However, I enjoy it. Mainly, I think it's the difficulty of it all, and the fact that everything around it is pretty solid. All in all, I'd recommend this one. It's currently selling for $30 though, so maybe wait for a sale just to get some more bang for your buck. Now, all we need is a crossover between Everspace and Ever-Jane. I think Jane Austen would approve. And that was Everspace. I am covered in vomit. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. I've also put another video for you to watch right up here. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter or Facebook for some random thoughts. And if you really want to help out the channel, you can donate to me on Patreon like these other amazing people. They're all gonna be in my cabinet.